We have with us Mohammad Ali Shah with us on the broadcast. Sir, welcome on the broadcast. Now, US has now issued a security advisory to avoid traveling in Kabul. Now, this is after the insurgents of Taliban. What do you have to say about that, sir?
The US is following a very wise philosophy over here. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. So they have given the advisory that no one should come to the airport unless individually you've been asked, you've been requested by name to come to the airport and fly out, because they have acknowledged the presence of Al-Qaeda still in Afghanistan. But having said that, they are still saying that they are not at threat what it used to be 20 years earlier. So it's fine. It is but it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Now, as you rightly mentioned, John Kirby, the press secretary of Pentagon, he has issued this statement again. And Major General Hank Taylor, what did he say? He said Major General Hank Taylor is the spokesperson at Pentagon. Now he said, since the end of July, they have relocated approximately 22,000 people. All right, and since 17,000 people have been evacuated. Now they had started these operations much before. They had the foresight to actually see that, and their prime concern is security and safety of their personnel right now who are stuck at the Kabul airport, because they are horrifying sights we are facing, horrific sights where a father handing over his newborn baby to a US soldier across the wall, and heart goes out to them. I mean, because he's thinking that, okay, maybe I may not survive. They're terrified right now. People are actually terrified. And where Taliban is going on issuing statements that, no, we will not harm anybody, we'll be a different Taliban, we'll be more reformed. But then, what is this fear all about? The very fact that people are being terrorized by just the sheer name of Taliban itself is terror. So, if that was the case, then if they have a very good PR machinery, they should be responsible enough to have communicated to the people over there, to the population over there, the civil population, that listen, we are harmless, we will not harm you, provided you maintain law and order and discipline. But they did not do that. They failed to do that. And secondly, again for US for that matter, there was no contingency planning when they withdrew. It's not that they withdrew overnight. They had, in fact, all process started from 29 February 2020 when the US and the Taliban, they met Khalid Khalilzad from US and Maulana, a brother from Taliban. They met and they signed the Doha Pact, that if they dealing from Al-Qaeda, if they behave themselves, let me put it this way, then they will start withdrawing their troops slowly and gradually. Now, Afghanistan, Taliban was very smart to actually analyze and see the desperation of US wanting to pull out from Afghanistan. They had also seen Pakistan support, because Pakistan representative used to come in every single meeting of theirs. So now when the US issues a statement like this, I think it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Like people would say, India evacuated its ambassador and diplomats and people from there prematurely. No, I don't think so. It was prematurely. I think it's always better to be safe than to be sorry. If something happens over there, or God forbid, if something would have happened to somebody over there, then people would have said, oh, the government should have reacted and should have got everyone on time. Why couldn't the government get everyone on time? So people will always say something, but now US is being very, very wise over here, I would say, in issuing that advisory. So let's wait and see what really actually happens, because the special immigrant visa over there, which is they were very generous. They were working overtime to be issuing these visas, and they were working overtime to. Their first priority was to get people out of Afghanistan safely, and whatever is happening near at the Kabul airport, it is a fearful sign. So I hope everyone gets out from there safe and sound.
Right. Major Mohammad Ali Shah, stay with us. Now we're getting breaking news that Indian airplane C-17 carrying Indian passengers has landed at Hindon Air Base from Kabul. Now this is the third plane from Kabul that we are getting that is evacuating Indian citizens, sir. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about the evacuation process of India at this point?
I commend the Indian government. I commend the Indian government for timely action and evacuating people, because I have been part of evacuation operations and they are not easy. Let me tell you, they're not easy at all. Like, we all have seen the film Titanic, where the captain of the ship says, okay, women and children, we have to decide who is to be evacuated first. So the captain of the ship of Titanic takes a decision, okay, women and children first. We all saw that during Corona. that vaccination for the most vulnerable above 60 first. A lot of people would claim, no, the taxpayer, the younger lot should be vaccinated first, but it's fine. The decision is perfectly fine, and I think it is, we were trying to speed up the process, and we have managed to speed that up to a large extent. I'll give a small example, a personal example. I was in Manipur, and a soldier was shot. There were 2 soldiers who were shot actually, and at that time, there were many of them who were shot, but then the helicopter could only carry 2 casualties along with it. They could not carry more because of the weight. So now we had to take a decision on ground, who to evacuate first. Now you also have to analyze at that time when you are conducting an evacuation operation, a rescue operation, that okay, when somebody, right now, touch wood, everyone is safe and sound. But I'm giving you an example, I'm correlating with this, that if you take a decision when you have to see that okay, this person has very big chances, but there the soldier himself comes out and volunteers, Saab, I'll stay back over here, I'll hold the enemy, I'll hold the ground, you evacuate, so don't worry about me. So that is the spirit, what happens in the army. Now when you have evacuation that is happening in civil, it's a very tricky situation. I can tell you this chaos, there is indiscipline, you have seen visuals in fact of people trying to mount on an airplane just like a bus, and people are overcrowding the airplane. So it is, and I really commend the steps by the Indian Air Force. They really went out of the way, and they have really lived up to their song, I would say.
Right, sir. Also, what more can we do for the evacuation processes? Because now, given the circumstances, as we know that yesterday even several Indians were allegedly quizzed by Taliban. So the fear at this point is rising immensely in Afghanistan, and India is just we need to get our citizens back to India. So what do you think, what more strategy can be done?
See, fear is either forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So that, like Khalil Gibran also wrote on fear. So I think the only virus, it's not corona, which spreads rapidly, is panic and fear. Firstly, I think we should not really panic. We should be, yes, we are taking precautions. We should be safe, then to be sorry, and which we are doing. So my advice is, people who are listening to me and who will be stuck over there, please don't panic. You all will be safe and sound. Have faith in God. Nothing will happen to you. I'm certain that you all will be safe. But just don't panic. But yes, we have to speed up the operations even further. And the Air Force is doing a commendable job on that. Khalil Gibran wrote this, anyway, I don't want to get into that, into the literature of this poem. But anyhow, so Khalil Gibran said one thing, just give me 4 lines. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. It looks back at the path it has traveled across the peaks of the mountains, the long winding roads crossing forests and villages. And in front of it sees an ocean so vast that to enter seems nothing more but to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river now has to take the risk of entering the ocean. Because it is now that fear will disappear. And the river will know it's not about entering into the ocean or disappearing into the ocean. It is about becoming the ocean. So firstly, do not be fearful. Everybody will be rescued, I am certain, because our government has proved it time and again. When the Gulf War happened, we evacuated our population from there. When the Kandahar hijacking happened, when the aircraft took off from Tribhuvan airport from Nepal, came to Amritsar, came to Lahore and Punjab, then came to Kandahar. That time, Ajit Doval was a man, our national security advisor, who had observed the hand of ISI in that, and he observed that they were military men actually guarding the aircraft. At that time, he played an important part in getting our people out from there, and everyone safe and sound. Similarly, here I am very certain, I have no doubts at all, that we will get everyone back in one shape, and so don't fear.
Right, sir. I would also like to ask you now, Taliban, considering, during even their press conference, they showed themselves in a very different manner. But we can't see any changes otherwise, because the anti-women agenda is still going on. So, what do you think, that will Taliban also, want to smoothen their strategy?
Well, Taliban certainly has changed the last 20 years. However, the PR machinery has become stronger. That's about it. That's the only change I see in them. And of course, as fighters, they were warlords and dreaded warriors at one time. But let me tell you, they only look fierce because of the turban and the beard that they wear, and then people fear them. Oh, the stars look dreadful. But they're not that fierce warriors, because all they can do is attack women and children, unarmed, helpless person, hang somebody to death. Like on 27 September 1996, they had hung the president, Wajibullah. Wajibullah was hung on a lamppost when he was hiding in the UN office. He was taking shelter over there, rather. They had dragged him out ruthlessly and they hung him in full public view. They can just put a bomb somewhere, put it and run away from there, hide and then got the fun. They don't have the bravery to force a military. When the US military came, they were hiding. That's about it. And now they are suddenly woken up. Mullah brother, who was banished from Afghanistan, suddenly after 20 years lands up from Qatar, and now he's expected to take over as the new president. But I have my doubts on that. Anyhow, but now what best can be done right now is actually we can establish a backdoor communication channel with Taliban as well. We have Sheru, for example, in Taliban, who was in the Afghan military, who has been trained by the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. And he's from Bhagat Battalion. So he can be somehow reached out, somebody has to reach out to them to maintain a channel of communication. Because ultimately bullets will not really give an answer. It's going to be communication, and certainly we are doing a great job, and so are you and your channel in that matter.
Right, sir. Also, I would like to ask you now, the Indian aircraft which has landed in Hindol right now, they are carrying 107 Indian nationals from Afghanistan, and total 168 passengers are on board. Now, given the current circumstances, how long, according to you, will be the evacuation process? Will the evacuation process carry on at this point?
Well, I don't see it happening for more than 48 hours. I think we will be successful in getting everyone out in the next 48 hours at least. That's just what my reading says. And I think every Indian is going to be coming back to their homeland very soon. So nobody needs to really worry about it. And the people who are there at the moment, I can well imagine the anxiety when people are actually tying themselves up on body part of aircraft and trying to fly out. So I can imagine the fear. But do not fear. If you fear, then it will lead to further discomfort. They say in the army, when a discomfort is inevitable, you've got to just learn to accept it. So now, we are doing the best. There is no magic, there cannot be a magic that happens where you do this and then aircraft comes. So it takes time. But as having said that, we've done a commendable job in already evacuating so many people from there. So every single person is going to be evacuated. It's not going to be too long. Just when the night is darkest, just then the dawn breaks and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So don't lose heart. People who are stuck there, don't lose heart. I'm certain that the Indian Air Force, have faith in your Indian Air Force, have faith in your forces, have faith in your government. Our forces are there, they are the best of the world. Our Army, Navy, Air Force, they are doing a commendable job. And you will be out very soon. They have proved it time and again. So we don't have to prove anything, but you have to remember that you have the people over there have to have faith in our defense forces, that we will not let anything happen to anyone over there. We get everyone out from there safe and sound.
Do you think that India would operate more flights now, and they should get? Do you think that they will, or they should get more flights? The government should allow and just speed up the process.
See, when earlier the Air Force was doing the emergency evacuation, now when Air India steps in civil aviation, I commend them, because in the forces we are trained for it. It is our job. But civil aviation has to ferry passengers, fly them from one place to other. So I commend the Air India for doing a commendable job. And yes, I think we must speed up, because we have to speed up the process. We have to find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. I say when there's a will, there are a lot of ways. And we do not lack in any will to get every single citizen out. So yes, most certainly, we can work out a plan. It's not impossible, where more flights do fly into Kabul. Within the air restrictions, yes, keeping that in mind. But certainly ultimately I see every single citizen of India coming back to the homeland safe and sound. Manjari.
All right, sir, thank you for joining with us today and for your input.